Am I doing the intro or are we getting going here? Let's just start rolling.
You can go if you want. Go. You know it?
Welcome back to another I says pardon. Another episode of the Briefcase in the Barn with myself and Kyle. Segment of the Furiously Curious podcast. I'm doing everything a little different than he normally does it, just to make him short circuit. I don't know what episode this is, but
60.
This one is for sure going to be more interesting than the last one.
60, because
the last one was dry like toast.
Was it?
Oh man, it was like a bad marriage.
Because it was
boring.
Just questions and answers.
You were tired. I was fried. We just had to pound. Yeah, you were recovering from your surgery. You're fully recovered now. Bandage is off. Staples are still in.
Yeah,
fully mobile.
Staples come out Friday. Still can't sleep, so I didn't realize this. But I'm trying to fall asleep at night, and I can't fall asleep. My mind's just whizzing, but I'm exhausted during the day. And I'm like, what is going on? I cannot sleep. So apparently, anesthesia stays in your body like 2 to 3 weeks, and coming off hydromorphone also really affects your sleep. So, kind of a pain in the ass, but
stay away from the narcotics.
Delta Von ding.
Is that the thing? No, it's something else.
That was my buddy Peter always used to say, Kyle, the TV, throw it out the window.
Hey.
Throw it out.
Ironically, pretty connected to the clip you sent me.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right.
Jesting about this. It's actually,
that's right.
Literally was the point of Kyle sent me a long clip with
10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's long for Gary.
I got the attention span of a small farm animal.
So you said you watched the episode with Sean Ryan and Lee Strobel. Well, Lee Strobel also went on the Tucker Carlson podcast. Yeah. Gary's a big Tucker Carlson guy. And really, he just enjoys the truth and stuff. So that's why he likes him. But anyways, so I sent him a 10-minute clip of Lee Strobel, Tucker asking about demons, which has come up a bunch on the podcast. And how if Satan would want to affect people the most, how he would do that. And Lee Strobel, who, by the way, if you don't know, wrote the book, The Case for Christ, he was an atheist and a journalist. I don't know how you say that properly, and he went on an investigation to figure out if the resurrection was actually real and if Jesus was actually real from that standpoint as a journalist. And
was he an atheist or agnostic? I think he was actually an atheist, eh?
I think so, yeah.
He wasn't just skeptical, no. He was pretty kept.
And so, anyway, he found out that Jesus was real.
Wrote a famous book,
The
Case for Christ.
Yeah, believe in him.
Good read.
Became a movie. He's written some other cases since, I think Case for Creation and some other ones. So anyway, there's actually a movie in The Case for Christ too, if you want to check that out. But he went on Tucker's podcast and asked about this. And so I sent Gary that clip. You said you watched part of it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, I had lots of thoughts about it. I mean, I think that probably the bulk of people that I interact with that are struggling in their life are watching things they shouldn't be, and not necessarily even bad things, like just watching stuff, like just scrolling aimlessly, consuming content. So like if I look back, this is one of the thoughts I had, and this is embarrassing, but this is full disclosure. If I look back at my journey and think of the crap that I consumed and then wondered why I struggled with lust and sin and purity issues as a man, and then think of like shows like Peaky Blinders and Narcos and just crap like that is easy to watch for basically any kid that has a Netflix account.
Yeah.
And just, R-rated crap, porn, whatever on there. I think like, how serious are you taking sin when that's what you're watching, right? Exactly. And it's not just those shows. I mean, it'll look totally different for a young woman or a married mom or whatever, right? This kind of stuff. But, and then the other thought I had, I guess the other thing I was thinking of while I was listening to his clip and talking about like, that's where the devil gets us. I have a saying that the devil will just get you wherever he can. That's been my experience.
Your weakest point.
Yeah. And that may not be in that at all. I mean, you may consume and then start patting yourself on the back because you're not being infiltrated by the crap that Hollywood's producing or these companies are producing. But I think that, the devil has gotten me in my pride. When you start to think that you're doing okay, he'll get you in your complacency. He'll get you in your healthy habits. He'll get you in your work. Anything. So I do think that, like I say, I think the clip, it's a great clip in the sense of like, a lot of people, myself included, probably need to be convicted about what I watch, even just literally scrolling social media. So
that clip was Strobel explaining that, well, we know there's a finite amount of demons like 1/3 of the
Yeah.
angels fell. So there's not like like infinite amount. And there, and then Lucifer is
I see. The point was
the
about
head,
just how they're
if they want to be most effective in reaching the culture in a negative way, how are they going to do that? And Lee Strobel's argument was like, I would make a show like Friends, which is a funny show. You know, it doesn't seem really bad and stuff like that.
seems pretty harmless in a lot of ways, but it's just a bunch of there's no redeeming quality really in it.
No, and it promotes like sleeping around and like having multiple partners and all that other crap like that, and then how to affect culture that way, but also how to go after church leaders, go after teachers in schools, like that's how you're going to reach people the most. Go after kids, like put crazy stuff in libraries, whatever. Because if you get the kids,
that just came out the other day. Did you follow that in Alberta?
No.
The school board. The Edmonton School Board had basically pornographic books, like all kinds of gross stuff. And Danielle Smith, the premier, his bold leader, went after them. And then to make a point, they started like being petty about it and started throwing out the classics like Margaret Atwood's book. It became a big thing on at least on Twitter. I don't know if that's so. Just interesting how people.
But you become what you consume. Like you said earlier, if you're watching a whole bunch of shows and then reading your Bible 5 minutes a day,
scrolling reels on Instagram.
You become what you consume, and so what you consume is important.
Yeah,
meditate on His word.
Mostly, I guess, from my perspective, is I work with a lot of people. Probably, just a lot of people, many guys every year that are struggling with purity, and I just think, boy, if you have a Netflix account and you tell me that you struggle with purity and you are watching stuff on Netflix or Prime or any streaming platform, I'll just say, get bent. Like, you're not that serious, right? Yeah. Ken Dick has the saying, like, from Freedom Sessions, you say you're struggling with stuff, but like, where's the battle scars? Where, if you're actually fighting the war, are you getting beat up, or are you just capitulating and folding like a cheap tent, right?
That's right.
So, I mean, and there again, it's the balance of, hey, it's not that you have to be prudent in kind of what you're, it's not as if we live in a vacuum and you're never gonna.
Well, if you don't care, like, go watch those shows.
Yeah.
Like, go do your thing then. Like, don't do it just good for the sake of you're supposed to.
The other thing that's fascinating, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like for me, because I am pretty much completely weaned off watching anything. Like, we just don't. It's not like we have a very broken home and I'm a horrible person, but like, as far as watching crap, we just don't watch stuff really. And it's interesting how, if I look back at my conscience, like, you can have a tender conscience again if you think of all the crap that I've seen in my life, and now it's like, man, I am. And that's a cool thing. Like, God can do a beautiful work in someone and really like just make you more sensitive to sin. And I think that's how we're supposed to be. And I think that we as a culture justify, because right away it's about, being judging women and all that. And it has nothing to do with that. It's just about your heart, your eyes as a man or a woman or whatever. It's really about the heart. It's like, and of course,
well, I mean, if you're genuinely, what I come across is people that genuinely struggle with their assurance and don't know if they're saved or not. And they don't feel close to God. And they don't know how to lead spiritually and stuff like that. And they're like complaining about these things and want them to be different. But at the same time, they're also consuming all kinds of other crap and stuff like that. Well, you can't have both. Like, what you focus on.
You think that's where the lack of assurance comes from?
Well, it definitely comes from sin. If you're living in sin, you're going to feel like.
I think it does just come from a overemphasis of certain teaching too.
Yeah, of course. But it's definitely like, if you're, watching those shows every day, you're not going to feel close to Christ and His word and want to share. No, you're going to like. What you focus on grows. Joshua 1 verse 8 and Psalm 1 verse 2 says, meditate on His word day and night. Like, if you do that, you're probably going to become more like His word.
Probably be okay.
Yeah. So nice. I thought it was a really interesting clip. It's I haven't watched the whole podcast with him and your favorite guy there, Tucker, but So, anyways.
I had an interesting, in the daily reading, you're just making me think of something. I don't know why it's not even connected, but the daily Bible reading was Ecclesiastes yesterday, and it was just like, Solomon talks about everything, right? Everything he does, everything he has, all like chasing the wind, all pointless. Yes. It was just very interesting.
Yes, I love Ecclesiastes. If you're like...
I am for sure chasing the wind.
Okay.
That was what I got.
A little bit or a lot?
A lot. Like, yeah. Trying to start a leaf blower. Like, it's just ridiculous.
And you're going to keep going, or what's
no, I'm going to make a change. I know I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to make a change. I promise.
It's interesting how even just getting used to living a slower life, it just takes time. If I think about how fast and paced my life was, like 5 years ago, so crazy, so hectic, to now, like, I coach 5 to 10 hours a week, and then the rest of the time is answering journals, do the podcast, whatever. But I live a
Do you
pretty
drive the speed limit now?
way more. That's interesting you say that.
Well, I asked it because we had a meeting. We had a little lunch meeting at Tech Alliance today,
Okay.
and I have a meeting there later. So I was just prepping everybody. I have a meeting with the bank, and like we were just talking about. I just brought up like, oh, there was a bunch of women there as bookkeepers and stuff, and they were all saying, oh, my husband drives like grandpa, and the kids all want mom to drive because she drives fast, right? And then it was just interesting how I said, oh, I like my driving is a metaphor for my life, like dysfunctional, in circles, hectic, all over the place. And then I said, like, if somebody can just drive 65 kilometers an hour down Chilliwack Central Road, which is a road in our town, which feels like it should be an 80, 90 kilometer an hour speed limit, it speaks to their character. I think it speaks well to their character if you could just be that content and not in a rush. So I was curious because I have on record that you used to not drive the speed limit in any way, shape, or form. So.
I was a lunatic.
Yeah.
But I noticed that when we were doing freedom sessions a couple of years ago together, I would leave some days just whipping home, or like 2 freedom sessions, because I was angry, and it was like that's how it was coming out, and I never put the 2 together, and yeah. So recently, I was driving somewhere, and I'm like, why do I never like? Because my car is a 3.5 second car, it rips, and I just don't. Yeah, I show people, but it's way different. But I didn't. It's not because I tried harder to do it. It just kind of happened. Anyways, going back to watching stuff. Have you ever watched The Chosen?
No. Very briefly.
Okay, so it's on Prime, and it's a show about Jesus when he was on Earth. And I started watching it, and it is fascinating. Just to see the conversations like the disciples are having with each other that are actually recorded in the Gospels, and what they're talking about and what they're bickering about and stuff like that. But just
so would they be adding stuff then in the show? Obviously, they're obviously adding all kinds of content. They're taking some stuff that's written in the Word, like some of the communication that.
I find it extremely close to the conversations they were actually having in the Bible. Yeah, there is things added. Yes.
Okay. Because there's some people that would really struggle with that, right? Where it's
that's
the
right.
idea of like, okay, now we're adding to the word of the Lord.
Well, if you think if the Chosen is the Bible now, then yeah, you'd be adding. But it's a show. But I think what most people struggle with is that, which is how I grew up. Any picture of Jesus, or a video of him, stuff like that, would be hyper blasphemous. Like I remember a buddy of mine telling me one time that he went to a Christian school somewhere, and they had pictures of Jesus on the walls, and he's like, these guys can't be Christians. Full stop. Can't be Christians. And like that extreme, I think it comes from the 3rd commandment. Don't
make any graven
image, stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't think it means that. I think that's like Jesus was visible, tangible, human form. We're not taking a picture of God. Taking a picture of God.
Yeah, I guess the question is, when would it become blasphemous, right? Is somebody making
Well, you're worshiping it, right? If you're making an image and bowing before it, like I think the Catholics, I remember being in Jerusalem and being where Jesus' grave was, and people were touching the grave and kissing it, and like that's a golden calf, right? A golden calf was people trying to get to God. They weren't actually worshiping the calves. They were saying to the calves, this is how we get to you through God. They try to find an intermediary, which we know has to be Christ, but we always try to find these other ways. So that's
people will very quickly take those types of things, and in their mind, that's what the, breaking the first 2 commandments is, but really, or the 3rd commandment, but it's really about anything that takes precedent over God.
Yes,
is an idol, right? And I think that's in our culture. That's really, to me, that's the lesson that I need to focus on. It's like, well, hey, what in my life am I making a priority over God, and what His plan is for my life?
Leaf blowers, sucking leaf blowers.
Suck starting a leaf blower. What the heck?
So I did actually look this up. On what some of the other like Reformed people teach, like Calvin and Piper, Westminster Standards. The 2nd commandment prohibits worshiping God through man-made images. It is less of an art existing, more about using art in worship. Piper himself has said he avoids using pictures of Jesus in teaching or worship because they risk distorting who Christ is, but he doesn't condemn them in every context. He wouldn't call a children's Bible heretical. The deeper meaning, God decides how he is to be worshipped. We don't get to invent our own methods. Worship should be shaped in God's word, not by our imagination.
The interesting thing is, I guess, for people that really struggle with it, and definitely that's how I was brought up. I mean, even if, and this is the thing, the imagination is way more powerful than anything else.
Yeah.
And so, you could say, well, we don't want to have that picture, but everybody would have a picture of what Jesus
Yes.
looked like in their mind, as he walked on earth, right? And I would agree with the statement that it could very quickly become an issue. So that's where I'm saying I probably would struggle with it a bit. Like, you really want, even with the show, it's like, hey, like, now we have some human dude who's in a show and we're pretending like this is the Lord. Like, seems pretty dangerous to me.
Well, I mean, usually, like, so the Isaiah 53 says he was, I only remember the King James version. He was not comely to look upon, whatever. Like, Jesus was very ordinary. He didn't stand out in any way, really. And he wasn't like really beautiful or fit or whatever else like that.
Mm-hmm.
But usually how they, pictures of Jesus that I have seen, it's like glow, beautiful hair, like perfect skin, things like that. Like, no, he was but he was really man, right? He got really tired. If he was healing people all day, he would have been exhausted at the end of the day and said, guys, I can't talk right now. I'm going to go to sleep. Like, he was fully human. And it's interesting, after reading John a whole bunch now and seeing more and more that Jesus was trying to constantly prove that he was actually God when he was on earth. Now I started reading Hebrews, and Hebrews actually has this whole narrative of saying that, hey, Jesus actually came and he was below the angels for a while. Like, as in, like, he was less important. He took a lower spot to them, but he did it. And yeah, it's interesting. But Lee Strobel also talks about this in The Case for Christ. I'd really recommend. But we have to, what you believe, that's what your behaviors are going to be. We were talking about it downstairs before. If you get hammered something into you about a belief, you're going to have a behavior.
It's going to shape your life.
That's right.
Rightly or wrongly.
That's
and
right.
The thing as an adult is you actually at some point have to discern the things that I believe. Was this something that was just, I was indoctrinated with? Is this correct? And it's a personal journey. And I think because there's so much guilt and shame attached with disagreeing with the people around you, disagreeing with your parents potentially, for sure, just disagreeing even with, anything really.
Yeah.
I mean, then very quickly because we're human and because we're just people pleasers by nature, most of us, not you, but everybody else would like to get along with people. That, very quickly we are just like, oh man, I'm hurting someone's feelings. Oh, this is uncomfortable. I shouldn't be doing this. Even though you could totally be correct. And those people could be way out in left field, right? And so I think that's where, you talk about like watching a show. I think really like reading the book of John or just being in the Word. It's like, oh, now you're in the Word. Like, you're literally in truth, right?
Yes.
It's like, hey, now you're like, if you're naturally in there all the time, you're going to be very much shaped by that. And God's probably going to guide you a lot easier than if you're being,
interesting as
watching YouTube videos by Tucker Carlson.
Your favorite guy. I asked Trey on the podcast that I did with him. He's all about disciplines, right? Reading your Bible, doing the right thing. And I asked him, like, well, the Pharisees did that really well. Like, they did everything perfectly. They knew the Torah perfectly. Like, could recite the whole first 4 or 5 books of the Bible, but they didn't love Jesus and they missed the whole point. And so I think it's also not just reading the Bible for the sake of reading it, but really like being like, okay, who is Jesus Christ and what does that mean for me? And praying and saying, like, God, open my eyes with your Spirit, because it can just become box checking then too, right? It's like, I was talking to the guy that took a shirt off a while back in a spin class, and that's how we're going to reference him all.
Savage.
About Bible reading and how he was just like checking the box off in the morning and doing it because he was supposed to, and not realizing, like, I got to figure out what this actually says. Like, what does this actually mean? Because I'm just reading it and moving on. And what's the point?
That's where I struggle with, like I say, I mean, Ecclesiastes hit me, and like every day I get something, but it is, you do have the reading plan in a year thing. I mean, it is a lot of content and there's a lot there. And I mean, you definitely are better off reading less and really having it sink in and permeate the soul, right? So, it's a balancing act. Yeah. Question for you. Yeah. We're, this is the beginning of September. This is coming out next week, but first week of school. My kids are at school. I had to get a 6-seater pickup truck because I got 5 kids going to school now. And it was a jump from 3 to 5. So it's a big jump because one girl was homeschooled last year, which is a whole nother conversation. How is it when you're a homeschool family? Do you just decide to start doing school at Christmas because that's the feeling in the house, or is it or did you do school all summer because you guys are really going to have these kids be brilliant minds, or how does homeschooling look?
Yeah. So I feel like I should always be more and more. I'm realizing as a dad, it's very much my job to teach my kids life.
Okay.
And about God and stuff like that,
okay.
But more just through daily life, not like sitting down and like having a lesson, but just like in the car, in the backyard, whatever. It's like really just like think about it. Stuff, like try to teach. But we just started. Nicole started yesterday. So we took the summer off, and she started yesterday, and it went well, and it takes an hour and a half, and so we're kind of just going.
Do you make her homeschool the kids, or does she like doing it?
She likes doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, she enjoys doing it.
And does she feel pressure? Because I had a conversation with someone the other day, and they said that the homeschooling group is militant and basically shames people that send their kids to school.
Oh, I don't shame them at all.
No, but do you feel that pressure or not? Have you ever felt that pressure?
To send my kids to school?
No,
or
to homeschool.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm just talking to somebody and they're like, well, I know it's like huge. And like, it's actually exactly what you're saying about the men, but it was from a woman's perspective of just like, hey, women, you know, as a good mom, you should just be like teaching your children, you should be teaching them everything. It's like, well, that's not for everybody, right? And it's just funny because people also like the vitriol comes from both sides and people make fun of I mean, to me, it's like, hey, whatever works for your family and whatever's good for your kid and whatever you can handle. Maybe something even is really good for your kid, but literally it'll break you everywhere else. Well, then you're just not going to do that because that's not wise. So
usually when someone's pushing something really hard,
be careful.
Yeah, because they can't handle someone having a belief other than their own, and because that makes them feel guilty or they might be doing something wrong. And so it's just like I was last week I was at a place. What can I share here? And there was two guys that were debating Arminianism versus Calvinism, and
that could have been at your house.
It wasn't, but they were basically like throwing hard jabs at each other in between, like you know, trying to not kind things and like making fun of each other and stuff like that. I'm like, you guys are not having a conversation. You guys are just throwing what you believe at the other person, not listening at all, and you know,
doing character assassinations.
Yeah, hardcore.
Okay.
Like one guy was saying, like, I don't believe the Spirit talks to us anymore. We only have the Bible. And the guy's like, you don't hear the Spirit. He goes, no, I don't hear the Spirit. I don't hear the Spirit at all. And they were just, it was just, I walked away. I was like, I don't. This isn't a conversation. It's
not kind and loving. Always be kind and loving.
Yes.
Even if you really disagree with someone. And that is hard. Speaking truth and love is probably the hardest thing to do.
So you sent, you had one girl homeschooled last year and now she's not homeschooled anymore?
No, she's at school.
Because?
Like, why is she at
school? Said it's a whole other story or something.
Oh, it's just the idea of really trying to care for her well. And we have kids that are adopted that are full biological siblings. And there's a fierce rivalry between them because of the situation that happened to them when they were really little, going back home and just being with birth parents and then not. And so we are always trying to make peace amongst them and just have them in a healthy situation. And I think the one kid she just got diagnosed with FASD. So then it's just like, hey, you just really want to help your kids the best you can. And I think that a start at home was good. And Marie worked extremely hard with her. And so now we're just in the space of, hey, like she wants to be with the other kids. She did the school is super accommodating. They let her roll in at the back half of last year, part-time, and she did really well. And so far, I think it's going good.
Is it a big breather for Marie now the kids are going to school?
Not yet. No, because there's just 1,000 things to do always anyways. And I mean, she still has, like right now, she still has she has a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old at home, which, you know, so because the one little guy is at home still a bit, but they do a very gradual entry. I'm sure it's probably pretty normal.
And Peter's actually my 4-year-old's going to preschool this year and doing kindergarten at home.
Okay.
So, going to High Road.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a preschool there?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we have a boy in middle school already, which is crazy, right? Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Time goes quick.
He was so excited to go to school yesterday too.
Yeah, I know. You saw the Facebook post. Just a miserable cast, man.
I hated school.
Oh, I hated school so much.
It is such a terrible place.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Felt like prison to me, but
I used to run away. I remember one time.
Then I went to prison and I realized.
Grade 5, we had a teacher that stayed for 1 year, and at some point when I was 8 or 9, I was just like, screw authority altogether. I'm in control.
Yeah,
no more. And so
that would have went really well.
Oh, super well. Great years of my life. And one time I just ran away from school, and they were looking for me everywhere, and I just went laid underneath one of the vehicles of the grade 12 guys. I was in grade 5, and so I just laid there for like 3 hours, and they were just in full panic where I was. And then after 3 hours, I just walked back inside, went to sit in the classroom again.
Disaster. It's interesting, eh? I struggled with authority so much too, and I was telling somebody, we went over for dinner at someone's house the other night, and I was telling them that, and they couldn't believe it. They're looking at me like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, like hate authority." And actually, the thing about being in church leadership and any leadership, but especially church leadership, because it's a humbling role, was that just to be taught to be like submissive to a group was so healthy for me. and still struggle with it and still struggle with authority, but definitely a lot healthier. And just realizing that, hey, that's God's implemented that, and everybody should be, every man, every woman should be accountable to somebody, be guided, you know.
There's also so much bad leadership, right? Like,
yeah, but that's such a cop out to not be led. Like, you should go into a church relationship knowing that leadership's going to make a mistake. If there's a bunch of human beings leading, like, are you saying that would be an excuse? I mean, there's going to be poor leadership. I think that's why the forgiveness exercises are so important in Freedom Session.
Yes, I agree with everything you said there.
Okay.
But I'd also think there is still a lot of poor leadership. And as a little kid, especially, what I seen was a lot of leadership that was authoritative and wasn't like serving, right? Like Jesus, when he washed the disciples' feet, he said, yes, you're right. I am your boss. I'm an authority over you. Now I'm going to wash your feet.
Do as I do.
Do as I do.
Yeah.
Like he was always serving and putting other people above himself and trying to seek the people that followed him's welfare. He was all about the people that followed him. He wasn't about himself. And in leadership, usually it's so easy to make it about yourself and your own, whatever you are. So, yeah. Moving on.
I had another comment on that.
Okay.
Just because this is a total aside, but it's come up a couple times, Pharisaical leadership in our podcast today. And it makes me think of a song that I've been listening to a lot. I don't know if I said this last week.
I think you sent it to me. Texted it to me.
Yeah, I did. The Pharisee and Me by Temi Tomke. Tompe. I'm saying it wrong. Anyways, you search it on. Maybe you can drop it in the show notes on but the artist, not particular that song, but the artist is great. And
what's the actual name? You want to look it up on your spot?
Temi Tompe. He's a black guy out of the U.S. and he lives in Nashville. And it was funny. He was at Barnabas Landing.
Would you, if it was a white guy, would you have said a white guy out of the U.S.?
Yeah, I would have said a white guy.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, I always label everybody by color. You should know that about me by now.
What
it's very important. You're just a nitwit. Anyways, half sunburnt, half cooked. The half cooked Dutch guy, big nose, half baked.
Day 62 today.
16 or 62?
62. Wow.
Now, to be fair, high on morphine for 3 weeks, but whatever. Good for you. Stay strong, eh? Stay strong. Where I was going with this,
it's all about trying harder. So yeah,
it is all about trying harder. If you're not struggling, you're not trying hard enough. Anyways, this guy's pretty famous, and he played the piano. Like there was like a piano recital at the Barnabas Landing. It was beautiful, like 45 minutes. And all of a sudden, I googled this guy. I'm like, hey, this guy's actually like.
Oh, that's the guy that.
That's the guy that was singing at Barnabas Landing. That's the song that I sent you. So people will love his music. Some people will hate it, but a lot of people would like it.
That's okay.
It's a beautiful voice. Worth dropping in the show notes because I had never heard of him before, and I listen to a wide genre of music. So
it's like podcasts. There's the hundreds of thousands of them that get as many views as we do.
Yeah,
there's a few of them that are really famous.
Okay, I thought we were really famous. That's what I've been thinking for the last 57 weeks.
Thankfully not. Thankfully not. Did they have the big dinner at the Barnabas Landing?
The fancy dinner
and told the story
just for adults. Yes, they told the story.
It's cool, eh?
Yeah. Well, they actually turned it into a video, so we watched the video.
Oh, okay. Because every year, the guy that actually started it would share it.
Yeah. Now he put it on a video because he's getting pretty old and pretty feeble.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the Pharisee thing. There's a book called Evangelical Pharisees, The Gospel as Cure for the Church Hypocrisy by Michael Reeves. It's a really small book. It is awesome.
Okay.
What's
it called?
Evangelical Pharisees.
Okay.
Now they recommend it.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on to something more political. Pierre Poilievre goes after temporary worker program and says he'll end it. Talks about how young people in Canada can't get a job that are looking high. Skilled people can't find work. Horrible idea and total BS was your show note. I don't
put that. Usually don't put any show notes in, and I normally start doing.
I was very excited about this. This is very good.
Well, because I watched the clip this morning, and I mean, I see who he's trying to pander to.
Who?
Pierre Poilievre.
Who's he trying to pander to? Who would want to get rid of the worker program?
Oh, I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. To me, it was I'd normally listen to him and agree with most of what he says, right? I think
he's a pool noodle. At least a shitty leader and doesn't stick up for he's just trying to get votes. Like, what do you actually believe, buddy? Like, stop trying to just get votes. Like, what do you actually believe?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you believe abortion's wrong?
Yeah. Who cares about the votes?
Grow a pair. Yeah. Anyways, he, that really I'm just like, dude, did you actually talk to anybody that runs a farm in this country that uses temporary foreign workers? There's not a chance that there would be food on the shelves in our stores if they got rid of the temporary foreign worker. Now, Mark Carney, who is, I don't know if Pierre Poilievre's a pool noodle, I don't know what you'd call Mark Carney. Anyways, he basically, we don't need a name call, but he basically came out right after, and the video I saw it like while I was eating lunch. It's like, oh, just eviscerating Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah.
He obviously hasn't talked to anybody that uses temporary foreign workers, which he obviously hadn't. Like I
especially that would be his base. Like farmers are usually conservative.
Yeah, anyways, it was very confusing to me. I mean, and have you ever tried to hire people here looking for a job?
It's brutal.
Yeah. As a general rule.
On that note, Furiously Curious Recruiting.
Good people.
That was not planned. That
Good
was
segue.
perfect. If you are a business owner and are looking to hire someone, reach out to me. I actually know someone right now that's looking for a job, really highly skilled sales manager. And he'd work in Ontario. He'd work here. But just a super good guy. That's very, very good. So if you're looking for like top, I know someone right now that's looking for someone and still looking for someone for an 18-year-old guy. But if you're a business owner looking for someone to hire, want to advertise a job on here, or if you want...
And the Tech Alliance, we're still looking for an auto mechanic.
Oh, really?
We still are.
With the diesel...
Yeah, we had a guy, and I thought he was coming on board, and he was a great guy, and he chose to stay where he's at for now. He
really
actually prayed about it.
Did he switch at all or not?
No.
Oh, okay. He didn't even switch.
No, he just thought about it, and it took a week or two. He was just not going to jump too quickly.
Did you try to lure him with money?
Not enough, but
was it actually the money, or was it the other job he liked?
Well, I'm asking myself that now. I'm like, hey, did I not? I mean,
Marie
would say that I never. I mean, top auto mechanics are making between $40 and $50 an hour, probably with benefits, right? Maybe a little.
And you can stomach that with your Dutchness.
Well, it's just what the market is. Like, I mean, you're not going to have a mechanic shop if you're not paying people the right amount. And the thing is, like, and this is something that I've been really convicted of as a business owner. With donations and charity is that, and I'm still struggle with it. So, but I just feel like rather than just be generous all the time to people in the community, pay your people well and let them be generous.
Yes. Amen.
Anyway, so it's just,
I'm
being really vulnerable. That's something that I have really struggled with.
Even spin cycle guy?
Everybody.
Okay. Just curious.
So I don't know. Marie says I'm too negative, like when I'm trying to hire somebody. And actually I should ask the most recent guy that I did hire a year and a half ago.
What do you mean too negative?
Just kind of down on myself, down on the job.
That is kind of your style.
The culture.
In sales too, right?
Self-deprecating.
Yeah, because that's safer.
Just crapping. Well, yeah. Hey, you know what? It's like a good marriage, right? Set the bar low and you're never disappointed.
Yeah.
A few people listening to this could take that advice, right?
Yeah.
So.
That is effective sales though.
Okay.
Wouldn't know if I agree with the style, but it is effective. Anyway, we were talking about Poilievre though.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how we got to marriages and over-promising and under-delivering.
Well, we're talking about hiring, how hard it is to hire.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was going with that. I just feel like you think of the on a farm trying to hire someone to do a milking job 6 days a week, twice a day milking. Like, good luck. Not happening, right? And even for me, like I've wanted to hire like somebody to milk just Sunday, like a part-time school kid. That's another job opportunity I have. It's not that easy.
If we could back up time and never start the foreign workers program.
No, it would never work. It's not how it works. The temporary foreign worker program is a result of the crap of our failing society. It's not the other way around. Our society has not become the way it is.
Okay. I want to hear that, but I want to, if we would never have started that, how would farms just not have got as big as they are? Or what would have happened? Like if we would never have invited Mexicans to come work for 6 months at a time, like that never would have started.
Yeah, they would have stayed inefficient. We would have fallen behind and all the food would have been grown in California where they had thousands, tens of thousands of illegal immigrants just working. You could say, hey, we can control things, but like look up how rent control works. Like controlling the free market is eventually what has to happen in order for something to be successful.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying there's not problems with that. I'm not saying that, there's not other issues. It's just the idea of controlling stuff just does not work. Right. And so if you think now to like your average
farm. What about in church, controlling your people, saying you have to stay?
No, you could do that. Yeah, it works. Yeah, you have to be very heavy-handed though. You can't be half heavy-handed.
That's what we were talking about.
Fully heavy-handed.
Talk about the other day. You would have made a great Dutch Reformed pastor.
Because I'm so heavy-handed?
Yeah, do it my way.
Okay, that's how I am most of my life. Not at church though. It doesn't work.
But you were saying that it's as a result of society. Like, talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, it's just like it's because of the fact that we don't, like another conversation I had with someone the other day. It's like we're easy on kids. Kids don't work a lot. Kids can go through their whole high school years playing sports and being involved in extracurriculars and never working a job. Well, when I remember being, 8 years old and getting woken up at 6:30 in the morning to go work at the neighbors. I remember being 12, going on Saturday mornings at 3:30 to go milk in the morning, and bike there in the pissing rain.
I remember being 12 years old and getting bullied. I didn't have a job yet, so I went and got a job.
Yeah, well, peer pressure in a good way, right? Get to work. And I think that, well, I said to my kids the other day, you can have a lot of problems in life, but if you work hard, it will take care of a lot of things. You're going to be miles ahead of a lot of people, because character and work ethic is super important. And I think just the idea of struggle, we just live in a culture where nobody thinks you should struggle. Struggle's bad. No, struggle's a blessing. Struggle brings sanctification. Struggle, even in a marriage, it's hey, beauty comes out of things that are challenging. This idea of oh, let's just not feel any pain. That's our whole society. And they just numb and escape. And it's no, it doesn't work. True character is built in the struggle. So now we have it where no young person wants to do crap work. Everybody's entitled, right? Because because everything's so public. So there are people that have YouTube channels, young people that make a lot of money. So now who watches that? Other young people. And they think, hey, this dingbat makes, a couple $100,000 a year, filming himself building Lego. How come I can't do that? Well, you could try and maybe you will be successful. That's another thing.
Another those people are generally I know
they're still motivated and hardworking.
Very. Yeah. If you want to run a successful YouTube channel or whatever else like that, it takes
a lot of work. Well, you're doing it, so we could ask you.
Well, it's not that successful, but it the really big ones, those guys are constantly working.
Yes.
Constantly
outdoor
working.
YouTube.
Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, constantly.
Never even knew who the guy was until he quit, and then now we started watching it with the kids.
Oh, it's so good. Love that stuff.
My wife cannot handle it. She cannot handle us watching somebody else's birthday party with kids screaming. Just puts her in the nut house.
Outdoor stuff. I taught my kids a lot of things about outdoors, stuff like that. I would never have known otherwise. But
funny.
Okay, so the working thing though, I think, and I agree with the struggle. That's where character is built, but I think it's important, especially from the culture we come from. We're okay, we're okay with struggling and starting a business and working our asses off and not coming home for dinner at night and doing everything else like that. But we're not okay with struggling and try to know how to follow Christ in a biblical way, or struggling in figuring out what I actually believe when it comes to my marriage or anything else like that. You can't just pick your struggles of what
you're saying. A lot of people are just living in the comfortableness of probably, hey, deep down they know that maybe they should be making a change, but they're not willing to make a change.
Yeah, they're so they're feeling good about themselves now because they heard on the podcast that works really great, but they're actually just avoiding. Anyways,
fair enough. But you know where I'm coming from. There's a whole generation of people that
I do.
To be you said it really well. Anybody, most people, almost all people that are successful in a material way in any way or are able to be generous with people have grounded out in a big way, right?
Yes.
And there's definitely this idea in our culture where things come easy or people hit a home run. And granted, sometimes you do, maybe you marry someone really rich or whatever, right? I thought I was doing that,
but even that, I was talking to someone this morning about how, when you have a lot of money, you get way more choices, right? And choices add stress.
Everything you own owns a little piece of you.
If you're
one of my favorite sayings.
Back when everyone was poor 50 years ago and the immigrants came and your kids asked you for ice cream, because you want to stop at Island Farms for an ice cream or Dairy Queen, you just said no because you didn't have the money. It wasn't even a choice. Now you're able to buy everything you want. And so now you have to make choices about what you have. I noticed in just going from making a lot to not making a lot, how much more peace I got in my life from just having way less choices. I don't have to go look up acreages or vehicles online or vacations I can possibly go on, whatever else. It's just not an option. So life's just more chill.
Keep it simple.
Simple is often better, in my opinion. Okay. I think last one here. Podcast. This is from a mailbag question.
Is this the First Nations question?
Yeah.
Not answering it today. Need to do more homework. Definitely will answer it, but need to do more homework.
Okay, I like that.
There's a lot of stuff there. It's a loaded question, and it's I thought about just shooting from the hip, but it'd just be shooting from the hip. Dangerous.
Well, tomorrow night, if you're here local, Freedom Sessions is starting.
Nope.
Has an info night tomorrow night?
Nope. The following week, September 11th.
This gets pushed out next week, Wednesday.
Sorry, right? I stand corrected. Tomorrow night.
Thank you.
September 11th.
Yes.
Sorry, Kyle.
Is information night on Freedom Sessions at what church?
Sardis Fellowship Baptist, I think is
Sardis Baptist Fellowship Church.
Yeah, on Wells Road in Chilliwack. It's at 7:00.
Okay.
Even if you are thinking you won't, you could definitely show up.
Just learn about it.
Learn about it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take you hostage. You're not going to be a prisoner.
No, you can wear a mask if you want, if you don't want to be known.
Yeah, you totally can. You can wear a ski mask. I might be wearing one myself, actually, because sometimes I just do random
it's just safer
robberies.
that way.
Yeah, it's safer that way.
I am still going to do a small group at my own house as well of Freedom Session. So if you are interested in that, it'll be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday nights. And you Thursday nights doesn't work for you, or you feel like that'd be better, hit me up. I think I already have the group kind of settled, but...
You already have some guys that have reached out to you?
Yeah.
How many?
4.
Wow. Cool. Those are the fun groups, man.
Yeah.
My favorite group ever was 10 Dutch guys at my house.
Well, it's interesting because like this group, it'll be like the Disciples. Just a bunch of misfits where I fit right in. I feel so at home.
I bought John MacArthur's book. Haven't started it yet.
Oh, 12 Ordinary Men.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Love that. Love that. Okay. I think that's it. Unless you want to talk about coaching. You get a coach yet? You call Kim yet?
Not yet. No. Okay. No. I'm self-coached, right?
Just to
go in the corners with your elbows up.
Okay.
What
about accountability? This morning I was going through quotes. Mary, my assistant, is getting quotes in the podcast.
I love your quotes that you post, by the way.
Okay, but she's getting quotes from what we're saying. I'm gonna start posting them as well, and I'm approving some of them. And one of the ones that you made from like episode 2 was.
Can I guess which one it was?
Yeah, sure, you can guess.
No, I won't actually.
It was about like how you need to have accountability as a guy. If you don't have accountability, you're not going to be doing okay. So last time I asked you about accountability, you said with my elders. You're not an elder anymore now. So where's your accountability?
I have another guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he calls you. You'll put your nose to the ground.
He will.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is a truth speaker.
Awesome. Love that.
Yeah. Probably need to really make it clear that he needs to bat.
You're hard to pin down.
No, man. I'll tell you. So one of the things I do, as you know, is I've been spinning on the bike at home.
Yeah.
And I wanted to buy a road bike.
Oh, cool.
Because this guy rode bikes a lot.
Okay.
And his kid rode bikes, and we're all friends.
Okay, because I talked to him about it, and I thought about getting into it myself.
You know what he said to me?
What?
And he said it with my wife as my witness. He said, "You are forbidden from getting a road bike until your kids are older, because you'll be gone too much, and it takes up too much time, and you don't have that time."
Oh.
So I thought that wasn't very nice, but I mean, hey, sometimes wisdom. And he's qualified to comment. Good. When someone's qualified to comment, you listen to him.
I think he does listen to this show. Give it to him. Guys, thanks for listening.
Beat him like a piñata at a fiesta.
If you have any questions for us to answer or any scenarios at home that you think would be good for us to talk about here, send them in. If you go to my website, furiouslycurious.co, and you go to the bottom, there's an option to send in a question. And there's also, if you press a button that says podcast question and then click there, then you can actually send it in without your name.
Us knowing who it is. Because I had a lady the other day that made some suggestions. One of them, and I can tell you now, was to I was telling stories. She's like, you're often just briefing through the story. More details, fine. I always feel like, hey, we got to get on to the next thing or get done. And she's like, no, the stories are sometimes pretty funny and pretty interesting. And, like I say, just prisoner of war, right?
And also likely on September 27th, which is a Saturday, last Saturday of the month, we will be doing a live Furiously Curious episode with Trey Ardis. He was a colonel in the U.S. Marines, Special Forces F-18 pilot, or the second guy there, and on leadership. So that'll be, I'm working on that. Hopefully I can pull that off. So that'll be fun. But yeah, send questions in, like, share, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it. Anything else you want to say? You want to just go?
Gotta go. Got a meeting to go to. Not prepared. Need to get prepared. Got 26 minutes.
Thanks for listening.
It's 10 minutes away. Have a great week.
Hey everyone, Kyle here. Super excited to announce we're doing a live recording of the podcast on September 27th at 7 p.m. with Colonel Trey Ardis from the U.S. Marines, retired. He served in the Special Forces. He was an F-18 Wizzo, and he's just a super, super awesome guy.
I've led Marines through some of the toughest situations in life. They were challenging, they were rewarding, and they were heartbreaking at times. On September the 27th, I'll be sharing those life lessons in a live podcast conversation with Kyle. It isn't just about listening, and it's a chance to engage and be part of that discussion.
I'll mark that on your calendar, September 27th, 7 p.m., Central Community Church. Get your tickets now. Looking forward to seeing you there.